Well, hello, Facebook world. Welcome to another edition of the Rodney Report. And do we have a special edition for you today? But before we get started, happy Thanksgiving to my fellow Canadians who are all out there, to my fellow Americans. Happy Indigenous People Day. Happy Columbus Day. I have a very special guest with me here as well.
Hello.
The legendary Dr. Karen Becker's with us today. It's also National...
It's National Chocolate Insect Day.
Yeah, National Dessert Day worldwide. Now, we have a very special edition for you here today. We're going to be talking about DIY, non-toxic, safe cleaners for your home. But where does this come from? Where does the inspiration come from? It came from a study that literally rocked the pet space just a few months ago. Now, the New York State Department of Health conducted a first-time study where they measured the urine in dogs and cats, and what they found in the urine was 21 different phthalates in their system, contaminated.
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Becker, what is the problem with phthalates?
Well, phthalates are chemicals that disrupt your pet's endocrine system, so they negatively impact the thyroid gland, reproductive system. Actually, it's been linked to certain types of cancers in animals, including pancreatic and liver cancer. So they're pretty toxic chemicals that affect all aspects of your animal's health and well-being negatively.
Yeah, and the million-dollar question is, where on earth are these phthalates coming from? Now, everybody wants a clean window in their home. I mean, who doesn't want clean countertops? I like clean countertops. And also a beautiful floor as well. Now, pet parents all around the world are trying to keep their houses as clean as possible. The challenge is, what they're not taking into effect is once all of these cleaning agents are applied to the floors, to the countertops, to the glass, they start to dry and residue starts to form. And what happens is our pets will walk through these dry residues, absorbing these chemicals. Our cats, for instance, will sit on these countertops that are supposed to be clean, and we can't see the residue that are there.
Yeah.
According to science, they're being absorbed through the paws.
Yep. So skin is a contact with these toxic chemicals is a big problem. And just because we think, we've rinsed it pretty well, we think it's fine. Animals are basically not taking the same number of baths or showers as kids or that we do. We wear socks or, shoes around the house. We do a good job of protecting ourselves with protective clothing, but we also are bathing regularly. So we're rinsing the chemical load off, not to mention we're wearing clothes to help buffer our skin and bodies from some of these toxic chemicals.
Now, a quick PubMed study, you'll see that there's other problems. There's actually more chemicals in around the homes that are being contaminated by our pets' blood.
Well, ammonia and bleach are incredibly common cleaners that a lot of people have used historically, and certainly they lead to respiratory problems, they exacerbate asthma in animals, a ton of skin problems, and actually they can irritate pets' mucous membranes. So they irritate the eyes, ears, nose, and throat of animals. Big problems that we think are not so much of a problem because we're away from it, but our pets can't get away from it.
And how about these chemicals?
So glycol ethers as well as formaldehyde, needless to say, both incredibly toxic. You're not going to find them on the label, but they are actually in the majority of conventional cleaning products. They obviously, formaldehyde is a carcinogen, leads to asthmatic issues in people, but also kidney, liver damage is a big problem with both of those chemicals.
Yeah, and of course, last but not least, we don't want to go through all of these chemicals.
These two chemicals are found in abundance. In fact, a lot of people will say, what's the problem with SLS, sodium lauryl sulfate, or synthetic fragrances? They're found in everything. But believe it or not, these are the two things that actually lead to not just skin irritation and rashes, intermittent vomiting, but they mimic food allergies. And I think that that's the biggest thing for me as a veterinarian is the year-round itching, the constant paw licking, the constant irritated belly, armpits, abdomen. Be suspicious of things around your home. If you've got animals itching or digging at their paws year-round, be thinking about household chemicals as contributing to that.
Now, check this out. Of all of these chemicals that we just mentioned, the EWG, the working group, always doing their hard research. This was a study, of course, that's very, very famous in the pet space. 48 of the 70 industrial chemicals that were tested for, the ones that we just went through with you here, were found in dogs and cats. In fact, check this out here. When the scientists measured the blood of these dogs and cats, they found 9, look at the carcinogens, the reproductive toxins, the neurotoxins that were found in these dogs and cats system from these cleaners that were used in the home. And in fact, when compared to humans, 43 chemicals came in at levels higher than what were in people. And people are traditionally bigger than dogs and cats. This is a big problem.
It's a big problem. And if you think about it, animals are also grooming themselves. So of course we rinse our kids off, we're giving them baths, they're covered in clothing. But animals are also walking through these residues and then licking themselves. And kitties are especially vulnerable because they're constantly grooming. So what's the alternative?
So today, we want to help you clean up your pet system. In this big, heavy, toxic environment with diseases skyrocketing in the pet space today, maybe we can all do our best by using some non-toxic, safe alternatives, DIY options. As Dr. Becker said, listen, if you can't afford to maybe go out and talk to a manufacturer and buy some non-toxic products, you can make them at home.
And they're so easy to make, and actually they work exceptionally well. My favorite good old-fashioned all-purpose cleaner, especially great for tub, tile, and sinks, is, of course, plain old white vinegar and water. But I also add grapefruit seed extract. Now, grapefruit seed extract is an awesome natural disinfectant, and it can be added into any solution to help give a 1-2 punch where you would normally be using chemicals to kill off germs. The problem is, if you're like me, you don't want your whole house to smell like vinegar. So what do? Well, I have a fantastic hack. If you are like me and you don't like necessarily the smell of vinegar, but you like its cleaning action, you can actually create this non-toxic alternative that smells fantastic with citrus rind.
Now let me just say this where I jump in. We're going to be showing these recipes like this. You can freeze, screen capture your, we'll also put these in the comment section.
I'll post
we'll put
pictures in the comments as soon as we're done.
As well.
So how do you convert your vinegar-based white vinegar cleaner that smells like vinegar to something that smells unbelievable? You ferment your vinegar with citrus rind. So I'm going to recycle a vinegar bottle that I have.
A glass bottle.
A glass bottle. And I do recommend glass if you can find it. You can get screw tops that screw right into glass bottles. And what I do is I save my leftover citrus rinds. I pop those down in the glass jar. You can use lemon, lime, orange, and then I also like to use a sprig of rosemary. And by you adding rosemary and citrus peels to your vinegar, you actually can end up creating a very lovely citrusy smell. Now, if you have kitties don't like citrus. That's one way to keep them off your countertops. But if you have kitties that you don't want to have citrus around, you can leave the citrus out, no problem. But I love using vinegar and citrus rinds. Ferment it for about 3 weeks, and all the vinegar smell goes away, and you just end up with a beautiful, clean, lemony, fresh home.
This stuff
love it.
Smells awesome. I do want to say this, a small caveat right down here on the bottom. Grapefruit seed. I forgot the fruit initially.
Yeah.
So not to mix it with grape seed extract.
Well, and grape seed extract isn't toxic to pets, but it doesn't have the disinfecting qualities. You can buy grapefruit seed extract. It's oftentimes used as a fruit and vegetable cleaner at local health food stores. Whole Foods sells it, things like that.
Now.
Yeah. Here's the kicker. You can't use vinegar on some surfaces. So surfaces like granite, marble, and stone, you can't use vinegar. So we're going to use good old-fashioned Castile soap blended with alcohol. And if you're looking for disinfecting properties, add a little colloidal silver in there. Colloidal silver, again, a little bit like grapefruit seed extract, does a fantastic job at disinfecting, removing germs non-toxically, which is awesome.
There you go. Now, if you come into my house, you'll see that my floors are an absolute mess.
Very true.
So what do we do when you've got dirty floors? Because I've got my dogs who go in and out of the mud all day.
A fantastic option for general floor cleaning is water with white vinegar and rubbing alcohol. And by you, sorry about the mess, Rodney, by you using rubbing alcohol, it does a great job of lifting hard stains that are difficult to get off with vinegar alone. So it does a great job.
Smells good.
Yeah, sorry about the mess.
There you go. Wonderful clean floors, but what happens if we have a different type of floor?
Yeah, so there again, if you have wood floors where you're not going to want to use vinegar, no vinegar on wood floors. Your wood floor hack is water combined with coconut oil. Now I use fractionated coconut oil, which just stays liquid all the time, and a little splash of Castile soap. Awesome for disinfecting wood floors. But what about wood polish? Like, what do you want for a pledge replacement? If you're looking around your house,
Wood furniture, of course.
Yeah.
So a lot of us have wonderful wood furniture in the house. Check it out.
you blend olive oil, coconut oil, and if you like citrus, like I do, a little splash of lemon juice. And it makes this beautiful cleaner that you can use to naturally polish your wood. And it does a great job, smells fantastic, but there again, you have no scary secondary residues that you need to be nervous if your kitties walk through it.
There it is, one more time. Check it out. Okay. Now, today I snuck over my dog's dirty dish after she was done eating. That's Shuby's dog bowl right there.
What do you do if you have baked on things, you have a stain in the bottom of your sink, you have a dirty dog dish, you want to reach for the Comet, but you no longer want to reach for the Comet? You can make a Comet or an abrasive scrub replacement really easily using baking soda, household salt, and a little colloidal silver. Again, colloidal silver is a fantastic non-toxic option for germicidal. It forms this paste that you can use an abrasive sponge to quickly and easily remove scummy residue, hard residue left in the bottom of any dish.
And it smells terrific.
It does.
Non-toxic recipe right there. We're getting close to the end here.
All right, now, every woman's biggest argument, I think, is glass cleaner. We all want clean windows, and actually, we all looking for a Windex replacement, and it can be hard to find one that's effective. It's, you know, we all can sometimes have a little bit of an addiction to an ammonia because ammonia does such a good job of cleaning windows, but this recipe actually is fantastic.
Now, check this out. Streak-free glass cleaner that you see right there. Now, the big question that a lot of people have is, why is there cornstarch on the bottom of this? Well, according to science, there's tiny little pores in glass where water gets trapped, and when you mix your cleaner with it, those two water molecules, once they hit each other, form streaks. Apparently, according to scientists, cornstarch will deactivate that hydrogen bonding, and you get
Totally beautiful streak-free windows with non-toxic fumes.
There you go.
Wonderful. Now, these are all really great homemade, non-toxic cleaning options that you can use, keep around your house. They smell wonderful. You can add the citrus right in, you can leave it out. But I think most importantly, you're providing cleaning options that aren't harming yourself, your kids, two-legged or four-legged. So I think that's really important.
Now, one thing, of course, it's flu season, back to school. There's germs all over the house. I know people love spraying Lysol all over the place. And the number one culprit for germs, check out our DIY door, is door. Kids running around, coughing, touching doorknobs.
So what do you do when you're trying to get rid of Lysol out of your house? Believe it or not, I love lemon-infused vodka. Now, don't flip out. Buy the cheapest vodka you possibly can. You can also use rubbing alcohol. If you don't want to use vodka, you can use rubbing alcohol. But believe it or not, the vodka's 40% ethanol, and that's basically you're kind of creating a homemade hand sanitizer in essence. And what you do is you infuse vodka or rubbing alcohol with the rinds of 6 lemons. I also use limes. You infuse it for about 3 weeks. Pour off the liquid. Pour the liquid, which smells fantastic. I actually use it as a room fragrance as well. It's an all-natural room spray. This becomes an awesome toxin-free Lysol that you can use on your door handles, you can use on your kids, you can disinfect surfaces around your house, but it's a great way to get the Lysol out of your home while still making sure that you're doing germ control during flu and cold season.
A huge shout out to Dr. Karen Becker, who flew all the way in to share all of these DIY home cleaner, non-toxic recipes. Look, pet parents out there in today's day and age, with all of the toxins that are bombarding our parents from lawn fertilizers, from things within our environment, at least in the home, if you can help control that, these are some options for you to help unburden your pets who are contaminated, according to science, with all of these type of chemicals. Of course, if you can go out there, contact manufacturers, find manufacturers who are already making this. If you don't have the time to make this, then you can also do that as well. Giant happy Thanksgiving to my fellow Canadians out there. Thank you so much for tuning in, pet parents, and until next time.
Thanks, guys.